First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Up Next. You found us at postwrestling.com, whatever podcast app you're choosing to use. And it's Sunday, October 26th, and we are
live on youtube.com/postwrestling. Hello, YouTube room. How are we doing?
Hello, everyone. It is a nice, cool, relaxing fall time Sunday afternoon. So wherever you are, hopefully it feels like a nice Sunday afternoon for you. It's a nice day. We've Havoced. We're a week away less than to Halloween, but we're going to talk about Halloween Havoc here today at Post Wrestling. We couldn't be here without you, postmarks. And more importantly, NXT friends.
Friends.
We'll always be your NXT friends. And we're here today to talk about some NXT. But how you doing?
Yeah, I'm not bad. How are you?
I'm all right. Our city is a little quieter today than it was a few days ago.
Yes, it's still early. It's still early days. One apiece now. Jays and Dodgers. They're probably in LA now. I think they flew last night, didn't they?
Plenty of game left.
Plenty of game left. Yes.
Plenty of game left.
Jays in 6. They're gonna. Yeah, Jays in 6. That's what I'm saying.
Right. From our beautiful city in Toronto. Maybe you saw, whether or not, Blue Jays in the World Series, and the whole world was watching. I watched yesterday Game 2, and I was flicking between the American broadcast and Canadian broadcast, mostly because the links I was using, right? And it's funny the differences hearing the bias between the different calls. Yeah. The Canadians, we're just so happy to be here. We're bigging up the Dodgers too. We don't care. But the Americans, y'all are cheating. They say we're cheating. They say we're
there's people in the hotel rooms texting the plays or something, right? Isn't that what's happening? Yeah.
Anyways, go Toronto. We always rep our city, the 6, the dot. So go Birds. Let's go. Go Blue Jays. The next few games, Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday, we won't be doing a show because it is Game 4. So we decided, look, we're busy. So we're going to be doing the show Wednesday, but we'll get into that. But yes. It's Canada versus America right now with, I blame the Jonas Brothers for yesterday's loss.
Sorry, but this is where American sport gets ridiculous for me. It's like, I swear, just middle of the game, and here's the Jonas Brothers, and you're like, excuse me,
they tricked us.
I'd be so fucking mad if I was playing this important game, and then out of nowhere, the Jonas Brothers just come out and start singing.
They tricked us though. It was basically like this moment, middle of the game, that's like, hey, we're all just gonna take a second and stand up against cancer, and for all the people stand up for people in your lives, cancer and all that. So a pretty emotional moment. And it's like, okay, they even got the players to all do it and everything. And I totally get that. But then they go, and here's the Jonas Brothers. And then it's like, oh, well, I can't boo for you now, but I wanted to, but
they
I'm not
Trojan horse dust, didn't they? Yeah.
Their agent is very slick. So the Jonas Brothers do love Toronto though. They keep hanging out here. So,
well, I find it funny because I've become one of those sort of superstitious people because we went to our favorite bar, Wide Open, for Game 7 of the last series against the Mariners. And, we got a nice spot at the bar. And I was wearing my new Toronto Blue Jays sweater, which I was getting a lot of compliments about.
The one that says Ron on the back?
It says Ron on the back until you open your arms and it says Toronto. But yeah, so it's my Ron sweater. And getting to late in the game. And I go, okay, I think we need some good juju here. Let's order a round of shots. So we had some Fireball. And as soon as we ordered it and it was placed in front of us, we hit that grand slam home run. So, that worked. So we preemptively did it. Okay, let's have a shot preemptively for when we win. Same thing happens. The shots arrive and we strike them out and we win the game. Now, I know you were working for Game 1, but sorry, it wasn't the games, Grand Slam Game 7. Yeah, but we won. Whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I sat in the same seat. I wore the same clothes. And I did exactly the same thing where I was like, all right, I think we need Fireball shots. So did it. And that's when the Grand Slam happened. So
Fireball being the good luck charm.
So it's all me. It's me that we won Game 7 and Game 1.
Yesterday. Okay, so like a week or so ago, I had friends over for wrestling, and our friend Sam left a bottle of Fireball here.
Right.
And I had some yesterday and the Jays lost. So maybe if I'm drinking Fireball, it's bad luck. But I also had some yesterday.
Well, I think it's got to be those clothes, that seat.
So don't change your shower for a whole
So then
week.
yesterday I'm working and I don't want to wear my new sweater because it's nice and I don't want to get it ruined and it's also hot. So I'm wearing my 2016 Strowman jersey. No Fireball. I'm working. And what happens? Like I'm sorry, guys. I let down the country last night. So
you're superstitious, little stitious.
Yeah.
Hopefully so we can get you some Fireball on Monday and Tuesday night.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hopefully. It is delicious, but
I've been on a cider kick recently, so
you put a little in your cider.
It kind of goes nice, like to chase
apple cinnamon cider. You know what I mean? Nice fall time October baseball. But we're hopefully supporting our city. It's a good story. The whole Canada US thing aside, but then the whole Otani, Japanese Jesus, as I call him. I guess the other guy is Japanese like prodigy. At least he had a fucking great
the pitcher.
Yeah, Yamamoto, right? I think. Wow, that was impressive. Like, we got smoked, but like that guy was pretty impressive to watch. Like, he didn't flinch at all. He was like, when Kota Ibushi goes into like killer Kota mode.
Yeah,
that was that guy. Like, oh shit, we haven't even seen Otani pitch yet. So
nope.
We'll see there. But yes, go Jays, go Canada's team. We won it all. Et cetera, et cetera. I blame my dad, actually. He was at the game yesterday. That's probably why it was. My dad's bad luck.
That would do it.
That's probably what it was. So, yes, there's our sports podcast coming soon, baseball. We're going to maybe, knock on wood, have a game on Halloween. We could do a baseball movie, Jay's review towards the end of this. I know you've always wanted to review one of, I think our friend John Pollux told you that Field of Dreams is one of his favorite.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah. So John said that we are owed a podcast review. We could cash that in for a League of.
It's probably too late now, but if there was a baseball film to review at Halloween, it would be the baseball film about ghosts playing baseball, wouldn't it?
It's not very Halloween though. It's kind of
it's ghosts.
My dad tricked me when I was young into watching that movie. He's like, "Yeah, it's about baseball ghosts," and it's kind of like.
So are you, we've just had Halloween Havoc. We've got a few traditions here because we enjoy spooky season here at upNXT, here at Poisonrana.
Yes.
So we continued our traditions. We've been doing a bunch of Halloween movie reviews and recently our Halloween Havoc review. So you can check out all of them and we've got more to come as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have never listened to us, we are Up Next, but we also are called Poisonrana. And while you're listening, check out Poisonrana.ca, Insta, Twitter, whatever podcast app you usually use. Give us Poisonrana Pod a follow. Sundays is usually when we go live and talk about all the other stuff with Poisonrana Live, but obviously with Halloween Havoc last night and our lives and Jay's and work and all that stuff, we decided to go live today. But we do so much other shows, and if you haven't checked out some of the stuff that we have done, please go ahead and do that, because we cover a whole lot of wrestling. We have a tradition every year on the free feed. We've been going through the Halloween movie franchise, and every year we release a review of the movies for free. We've started at the beginning. Last year was H2O, and this year on the free feed, we will be reviewing Halloween Resurrection. That's right, Trick or Treat. We're going to be talking about Tyra Banks, Busta Rhymes, and Michael Myers. It's going to be fantastic. This one will be available for free, but we have tons of other traditions. Every St. Patrick's Day, we review a Leprechaun film. Less fun, to be honest. We've done
Friday
Jason,
13th reviews on Friday 13th.
St. Andrew's Day, we did
Loch Ness.
Loch Ness. We have a few traditions, but the Halloween one we like to keep for free. And I know our friends at Post Wrestling like the scary movie reviews. So if you're into that, check it out. It will be for free. We'll be recording this in a few days, so I'll try to get maybe the feedback thread up for anyone who wants for us to read your thoughts on Halloween Resurrection. But if you are someone who loves the spooky stuff, then T-minus a week before, less than, for Halloween. And we've been knocking it out the park over on our Patreon as well. $5 to become a friend. Patreon.com/Poisonrana. Go check out some of these shows. I mean, through the years, we've done some classic horror movie reviews, Exorcist, Omen, so much more. But this year, we've done the 25th anniversary of Hollow Man, everyone's favorite Kevin Bacon movie about being an invisible, naughty man. Heel Kevin Bacon. We will also be looking this week at our first ever Hitchcock review with Psycho coming up. This is the first time we'll be looking at Psycho. Definitely excited about this. I know some people have maybe been watching the Netflix Ed Gein show. I'm still too scared to watch it, but maybe before this review, I'll check some of it out. But yeah, we're going to be looking at our first Hitchcock movie of the Patreon.
Yeah, really excited about this. And I mean, this has to be Hitchcock's biggest one. I know he's got a lot of big films, but I'd say Psycho has to be his biggest film, right? So it makes a lot of sense to be talking about this one. Yeah, really excited to dive into some Hitchcock lore.
And then we just reviewed The Black Phone with Ethan Hawke, where we looked at this 2021 scary movie about the grabber. I know maybe you've been looking at The Black Phone too. We talk a little bit about that as well. So that's been a review that's just come out. And then, if that's not enough, we're going to talk about NXT Halloween Havoc in a second. But in what some are calling the best show we've ever done, some being me, our Halloween Havoc WCW Halloween Havoc 2000 review is out now for all patrons. This is the 25th anniversary of WCW Halloween Havoc 2000. It is quite possibly one of the worst shows we have ever reviewed. And in fact, if you've never seen this show, do yourself a favor and go put it on.
Yeah,
Halloween.
It's a funny one because this show we've been receiving some really good feedback so far. I think there is humor and entertainment to be had in either listening or watching the video version. I'd suggest watching this one because I think you can see us both at certain times in this review, like our soul leave our body,
breaking down,
like what is it? The Simpsons. You can pinpoint the moment where Ralph's heart breaks. It's like that with this review.
It's the First Blood DNA match or the Vampiro versus that 70s guys.
And I think the combination of, partying pretty hard the day before, celebrating the Jays winning, and then sitting down, watching a 3-hour pay-per-view, and then talking about it for pretty much 3 hours on top of that. completely destroyed us, and I think it made for some wonderful content.
Yes, we had a lot of fun and a lot of laughs dissecting WCW 2000, plus WCW Backstage Assault, which was the sponsor, a whole snapshot of what was going on in 2000. And yeah, with the Sting Multiverse of Sting match. That's what I'm called. The Multiverse of Sting match is what I called it. But that match is crazy. Jeff Jarrett versus Sting versus Jeff Jarrett and about 5 different variations of Sting. Plus Booker T, Scott Steiner. That was just okay. But there's just so much bad stuff on this show. Disco Inferno.
I'd say
Alex
do
Wright.
yourself a favor and just oh, I've got 10 minutes to spare. Put on one match, move on. Come back a bit later, put on another. Because Mike Awesome Vampiro is a lot of fun. And I think the Sting Jarrett match needs to be seen to be believed as well. So,
sure.
Yeah, really proud of this review. And if you haven't listened to it yet, highly recommend the $5 to become a patron and check out this one and some of our previous stuff as well.
Absolutely. $5 gets you a whole month's access. Patreon.com/Poisonrana. Check out all the other wrestling movie reviews and so much more. But Halloween Havoc 2000. Oh my God. What a show. An all-timer.
Are you feeling spooky? Are you feeling in the mood this year?
I'm not feeling that spooky. I'm not that inspired. I haven't done anything. I wanted to do like a haunted maze thing. We were going to go last night, but we just weren't necessarily feeling it. The Jays were on. I just kind of stayed in whatever, but I did the horror nights, but that was back in September at Universal, but that was way too early. And now I'm not necessarily feeling spooky, and more, I don't even have a costume, so I don't even know what I'm doing.
I'm feeling the same this year. I think with the like Jay's hysteria, that's kind of taken over. And it could be on actual Halloween, a huge game if it goes to game 6, right? So there's that, working a lot of these games as well. Like normally I'm kind of watching all the Treehouse of Horror episodes, watching a bunch of movies and stuff. And I think, just the baseball's taken over this year. And also temperature has dropped, but we've had a pretty nice October, and the summer kind of did stretch on. So I'm not even necessarily getting those fall vibes quite yet. So I think, I'll skip this year and get pumped for next year instead.
Like I went to a lovely pumpkin patch last week. Like I did a nice date day, and that was pretty, like, not spooky, but it was nice, at least like fall time and Thanksgiving and all that kind of stuff, but not necessarily like, ooh, scary. But I have been trying to watch scary movies. I finally watched Terrifier 2. Very gory movies, but pretty fun, pretty silly. I can see why there's
I've seen the first, I think, and it was pretty fucked up.
Got to shout out Mike Rome, the ring announcer for Halloween Havoc tonight, dressed as Terrifier, a lovely suit with the daisy glasses and everything. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I've watched a few scary movies and stuff. But on Halloween, I know I got to get some sort of costume, and whether I do something I know you have the same space outfit as mine, but if I get a blue wig and wear my space suit, could I just be Katy Perry in space from this year? is that
too? you need
and then you could be JT.
I was going to say
Justin Trudeau.
You need a Trudeau as well.
You could be Trudeau, and I'll be Katy Perry in space. So that's my go. I wanted to make a Labubu thing, and then I'm looking online, and it's considered, every website I looked at was the number one predicted costume is a Labubu something costume. I was like, all right, well then scratch that. So we'll see. But no costumes today. Well, we'll see. Next, it's a Friday, so happy Halloween early, everyone, and enjoy while you can. Stay spooky and stay safe. The scariest thing happening to me right now is I had like some fried rice earlier, and I put my chili crisp, Lao Gan Ma, and before recording somehow got some in my nose, and only finding out right now. So I love Lao Gan Ma, but it's kind of it's waking me up right now. This is gonna be a fun show with chili crisp in my nose. This is gonna be good. I know it's gonna be an all-timer right now. Yeah.
If your camera suddenly goes off, I know what's going on, and I'll hold down the
blowing my nose of chili crisp. I think it's just a little bit of the oil got up in there, but Oh boy. Well, let's talk about what we are here to talk about. And we're going to talk about WWE NXT Halloween Havoc 2025. We're going to the desert as the moon rises. An indescribable darkness has taken over. Not quite Vincent Price Thriller, but I like the spooky intro here. We're going to the desert. We're going to Prescott. They said Prescott, but it's spelled like Prescott. So Sidney Prescott, Ghostface. I'm calling it that. Sorry. Apologies. But Arizona at the Findlay Toyota Center. That's an easy one, but Findlay loves to fight.
I love they've been doing this a lot recently on Raws and SmackDowns and pay-per-views where they go, like, this is the 13th Monday Night Raw at this venue, and it's been the host of this and this. Here they were like, so they're in Prescott, Arizona, and they just say, because it sounds like they haven't done a whole lot of stuff in Prescott, so they say, this is our 15th time in the state of Arizona or whatever.
They mentioned
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And we're at this little arena in Prescott, like not in Phoenix, but yes.
It could have been like, hey, the last time Shawn Michaels was here, he retired. Right? Didn't sort of. According to him.
For a few years, yeah. No, that didn't happen.
According to Shawn, his last match ever was, in fact, in Arizona. But
yeah,
sure, Shawn. So we kick things off here with an opening tag team match on Halloween Havoc. We have our NXT's own Javon Evans teaming with the TNA X Division champion Leon Slater, taking on the team of Mr. Iguana and La Parka, representing Triple A Lucha Libre here in a bit of a show, almost a forbidden window.
Yeah.
Cracked open here a little bit. Some TNA, AAA, and NXT all wrestling together here. Mr. Iguana and La Parka come out together. They got a very good Halloween Havoc vibe here, right? La Parka, obviously the Day of the Dead inspired gear all the time, but Mr. Iguana, the face paint, and La Yesca. And Booker T mentions that he's been in the ring with La Parka. And I think it took him a second to be like, oh, wait, yeah, this is a different La Parka.
I got the sense it was more of a bit. Like Vic says, I think once about, a new incarnation of La Parka or something like that. But I did enjoy how they just kept on talking about this guy like he's the same La Parka from years and years ago. And
like he does the dance.
This legendary and... Yeah, when he does the dance, Booker goes, oh, the damn dance.
That dance. Oh, I hate that dance, says Booker. But then, Vic, I know we were just discussing WCW 2000 on our review in N64 video games. A lot of that pod, we talk about our favorite N64 wrestling games. But Vic here on commentary says that he always played as La Parka on, what game was this? WCW Revenge. And because if you played with La Parka, you started with a chair. So Vic Joseph always knows ball. But we have Leon Slater starting things off here, and he's doing some fast stuff with Mr. Iguana. He does one of those RVD fake out kicks. Iguana is in there, and they start chanting Iguana. And Booker T, I'll get it out of the way, is on one tonight and goes, are they chanting We Want God? And Vic is like, no, Book, they're chanting Iguana. There's La Yesca, which is the puppet thing, gets thrown, and then La Parka does this I think it's Mr. Iguana throws La Yesca, and then Slater and Javon throw it back, but he's meant to catch it in midair, but he doesn't, but he still hits the tope, which is the more impressive move. But I think the crowd were just so expecting him to just catch it, and they were like almost booing him for that part. La Parka hits a pretty nice Acai moonsault there to the outside. Eventually, we get Javon getting tied up by Iguana, and then he drop kicks his booty. Leon is on fire. He does like the gold dust final cut for a near fall. La Parka does more of his dancing. Vic is teasing that Booker T seems to be into the Lucha guys, that maybe Booker should join JBL and Vampiro on commentary in AAA. And could you imagine? Where's my music? Booker T and Vampiro. Oh, my God.
You mean Conan?
Is Vampiro not down there still?
Vampiro's not there, no.
Oh, I thought he was. Is he in CMLL?
Well, it's been JBL and Conan.
Right. Yeah, Conan and Booker T. Could you imagine that combo? Oh, that's possibly worse. The Iguana Layeska is being used as a weapon, and Booker T with some good insight here, saying, shouldn't this be a disqualification, even though it's a puppet? I guess the ref's discretion. Some more crazy dives from Iguana. There's then a huge tope over the corner from Slater, the 5-star frog splash from Evans to Parka, but he kicks out. There's then a double cutter attempt, very Carmelo Hayes, Cody Rhodes here, where I think both guys were going for something, and they both just end up falling into the middle of the ring. So that was a little messy, unless it was done on purpose, but I don't think so. There was another cutter from Leon here for a near fall, and then La Parka does hit this pretty cool, like spinning saving grace move, but it's only a 2 count. And then he hits a lift up suplex, does the cutthroat, which maybe he got talked to after. They don't do that in WWE. When you do the only Undertaker's allowed to do that these days. There's a like 450 swan dive that finally connects, and Leon Slater gets the pin. And yeah, this match was really fast, and there was a lot of stuff to like watch, but I love all 4 of these guys, and I got to say that I do, but I felt like maybe this was they were a little overzealous with some of the stuff that they were trying to do in this match. And I don't think I'm on an island here. I just felt like maybe they were reaching for things that they hadn't quite perfected, because throughout the match, it did feel like there was a few missed or connections gone awry or something.
Yeah, I thought this was the right choice of match to open the show.
Absolutely.
For characters that everyone enjoys and fast-paced action. The crowd were into it, but yeah, this there was some nice looking stuff in it. Like the Parka hit a really nice like Urihara moonsault, and obviously Javon and Leon are spectacular as well. But this was quite botchy, and I don't like the Yeska stuff. I don't think it's particularly clever, the humor with it, and I think it makes the person on the receiving end look really silly. You know, I think Orange Cassidy is such a rare case of like gimmicky wrestlers, because I always find he does it in a way that works. He does it in a way to like fuck with the opponents, whereas here, like, you watch it and sometimes they have to pretend that this iguana is real. Other times they don't. I don't know. I've seen the Mr. Iguana gimmick a few times now, and I think it's got a very short shelf life for me. And that stuff, that kind of comedy just falls flat. And also wanted, it's Halloween Havoc. Like, boys, Javon, Leon, what are your costumes? I thought, like, this is the match. You're against an iguana and a guy in a skeleton costume. Like,
right.
I felt that kind of underwhelmed a bit as well. I thought the whole Halloween theme throughout the night kind of underwhelmed for me. It
loses a star because they didn't have a Halloween costume.
It didn't feel as campy and Halloweeny as it normally does this show. And
sure.
I just felt the crowd seemed to be into it. There were spots that did look cool that get people jumping around because you see someone hit a cool flip. But yeah, I thought this was pretty messy, and the comedy just left me cold.
Yeah, again, I'll say I like all 4 of these. I think La Parka was the least I've seen. I did watch since he's re-debuted with this new guy. I don't know too much about who's taken this spot and stuff, but from what I have seen in some matches outside of this, he had been hitting some cool stuff. My only gripe was, they kept trying to go for like crazy stuff, and a lot of it just didn't connect, and it did lack like some. I don't know. Something was off.
I find sure. I think this La Parka as a wrestler, like he can hit some pretty cool moves.
But, probably better than the original La Parka.
But that almost loses something with me a little bit. I'm like, I know it would be really weird if suddenly in WWE you had Kane come back and it's just it's Osiris Griffin is now playing Kane.
Davey, they did do that.
I know, but that was the story. But I'm saying, like, legit, just this character, we've just got someone new, and that's a permanent thing. I know that's more of a like common thing in Mexico. With we've seen it with different Mysticos, and the what was it? The Grand Metalik thing we got confused with recently because it's someone else is under the mask or whatever. Like I get it's a common thing, but when I'm seeing La Parka, I'm like, could you just not replace it with another fat dude who probably stinks like cigarettes? Like it's because this guy looks way too lean and tall and athletic to be La Parka. I just want some shit guy in a skeleton costume whacking people with chairs.
Like a few months ago when it was Goldberg's last match, we did a podcast, best match ever, Goldberg, and we looked at a lot of Goldberg's matches are short, so we were able to fit in quite a few. And I don't remember what we picked at the end, our very favorite, but something tells me it was in fact Goldberg versus La Parka from like the 90s on a Nitro. So go out of your way to watch that this Halloween
fantastic
season.
You can find it on YouTube.
That's a 5-star match. And it's only about 30 seconds long. it's literally the length of a TikTok. So go check that out. But yeah, not the worst thing I've ever seen. Don't get me wrong, but maybe I had my hopes up a little, and they were definitely slipping on some banana peels out there. But I know I love the team of Javon and Leon, and I think going forward we're still in for a treat with these two. So. Something
I noticed because with this show is this was Peacock in the States, right, and will be the same case for Saturday night's main event.
Okay.
There were like pretty much no adverts apart from like promoting, upcoming events or stuff like that. We didn't have the, when sometimes they'll go to commercials and then we get on Netflix, like the 3 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
The pacing of this show felt so much better and felt like a pay-per-view of old because it was just, you'd have a match and then you'd go to a backstage interview and then we'd promote Deadline that's coming up or Gold Rush. But we didn't have those just generic commercial video packages this time round, and it made the show a much better watch for me.
There was some commercial for a CW show or something, or was that Peacock? But like here, obviously I'm watching in Canada, but I got The Run. It looked like a TV movie.
Okay.
It was like, hey, the Long Walk is popular in theaters. Let's do a show called The Long Run. It looked like.
Unless maybe because I'm watching on Netflix the day after that they've cut out a bunch of that stuff, perhaps. But,
true. Like I only watched today too, so the only ad I noticed was this like one TV movie thing.
Yeah, I am just I'm interested because John Cena's last match is going to be a Saturday night's main event, and the big criticism of those shows has been the commercial breaks and stuff. So I get the sense that show is going to feel a bit more like a typical PLE than the Saturday night's main events we've been having before.
Hopefully, that like of all the people, you would not want that to be cut out.
You can't Goldberg Cena in this match.
Goldberg is fine.
Show. Yeah.
Goldberg's
funny.
He's hilarious. Yeah. Bret Hart probably watches that shit on repeat. Just Goldberg getting cut off.
First of all, I want to thank Mike. Boop.
It's still funny, but the Sting one, it's not like we were at the Sting one, so for us it wasn't interrupted. But seeing the Sting one, hold on, they're giving me cues, and then it just cuts. It's like the funniest way for Sting to retire until old man Sting just returned like a week or so ago. But that was another funny thing in our Halloween Havoc 2000 review was the commentary being like, "Oh, it's Sting from 2025," and we're like, whoa, we just watched Sting in 2025. Yeah. Anyways, we go backstage. Ethan Page, the North American champion, is with backstage interviewer Blake Howard. Shut up, Blake. He is asked about the moniker of the best North American. Ethan says it's not a moniker. I am the best, and I'm the best North American to ever live. And then talks about Wagner Jr., Dr. Wagner Jr., and says that he stopped me from getting that AAA Latin American title. I've been champion for 150 days, and after tonight, nothing will change. So ready for his match next. We see.
Yeah, I liked Ethan Page here. I just think his he's a heel, and normally we're used to just most heels being chicken shit, but he's actually backing it up, right? He's like, name anyone else on the roster who's been defending his title against like other brands, other companies, all this. I'm the one doing that, and I'm winning every single time. I am the greatest, and I like it. I like it for his gimmick. This heel version of him is a lot more a lot meaner, but also he doesn't resort to sly tactics quite as much. And I think him backing himself up here, it did make him feel like a big deal.
Oh, he's way more interesting as this than the chicken shit heel. Like he's pretty jacked. I don't think this guy needs to be scared of anything. I like when he's more of just a straight up asshole who is scrappy and kind of dangerous. I think since that, the character has been so much more interesting. But yeah, we see Sol Ruca, the women's North American champion, on crutches, and she's with Zaria. Zaria will be defending her honor and title tonight, but Sol is looking sad. When Izzy and Tatum kind of walk by, and Izzy says that Tatum will be the one walking out champ, Zaria says, well, no matter what happens tonight to Izzy, you won't be champion, but maybe Tatum will, and I will as well. So Izzy gets a little upset here, kind of a look at Tatum, some tension teasing here between Izzy and Tatum, perhaps, but could it be their night? But we go to the Day of the Dead match. I love that. What a great name for a match. The Day of the Dead match. Shout out Coco. North American title on the line. The champ Ethan Page versus the AAA Latin American champion El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. And he comes out with some very nice Halloween Havoc 1997 Rey Mysterio inspired gear. The purple, the little crown on top as well for that match. Talked about that. Every wrestler just seems to love that.
I was gonna say, is there anything else we can reference other than Ray and Eddie?
Come on,
like it's
Halloween Havoc,
dude. Every Halloween Havoc, someone's wearing this fucking Rey Mysterio outfit.
It's like
we've seen Dom do it. We've seen Ray bring it back. We had Santos do it.
We see a lot of people do it. Don't get me wrong, but like it is iconic, and he loves Ray, and he's like, I wanna. You know, it's this guy first time wrestling on a Halloween Havoc. I get why you would do it, and it still looks good. Don't get me wrong. This is the one you have on the set there, right? Like the one I got from our boys is a purple. It's the Dom Halloween Havoc inspired one that from that Mania, which is really nice. But yeah, I thought it was cool. But yeah, you do see that just shows the popularity of Rey Mysterio, the GOAT of Lucha. Still, like people still dressing like him all these years later. But pretty cool. So Booker T is already going off about how Wagner should have his title on the line here tonight as well, but he's yelling and screaming about this. And then Vic says, did you get into my candy again? The Day of the Dead match, you know, you were talking about different luchadors wrestling under masks as different characters. The Day of the Dead match here has Sin Cara lights. It's got purple, spooky Halloween. Was this spooky enough for you?
I like this. I think you needed to differentiate this match to the Hardys match, right? So I didn't mind this. I want a little spookiness and gimmickry for these Halloween Havoc matches. So I didn't mind these lights. I like
Ethan Page has half of the like candy skull Day of the Dead Canadian,
which we saw in his vignette on Tuesday.
So it's like Canadian colors, almost Darby Allin, the half face here. These two start going at it again. Booker going off about the title, and Vic is like, "Yeah, I heard you the first time. It's not on the line, and they're not going to change that now. So let's just watch the match." There's a super kick from Wagner, sending Page to the outside. He gets a chair, goes in the ring, gets hit with this pretty nice looking missile drop kick. Wagner then ties him up with like the ball that we kind of saw Iguana do earlier, and Booker rightfully so is like, not this shit again, essentially. Doesn't swear, but
like the Sonata, like the pretzel ball kind of thing, right?
There's a kick to the rump, as Booker says, and then Vic says, you mean the tailbone? And Booker's like, yeah, that's better way of saying that.
With the chair as well.
It was nicer than the other one earlier. There's a big overhead throw from from Page as he comes back and then hits a code breaker with the trash can for a 2 count. He then throws him into a chair that's been lodged in between the ropes. That was pretty cool. And then Wagner shoves him into like the barricade, and there is like some sort of a graveyard as the entranceway, and there's some like skeleton stuff set up. I think this one specifically was put here for this, obviously, where Ethan Page grabs what Vic calls a skeleton's femur and starts whacking Wagner with it. I mean, this is just plastic, but I guess it would still.
Biggest bone in the body.
Yeah. Isn't that what Kota Ibushi just injured? His femur?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, even though there's already videos of him getting out of the wheelchair. Sit the fuck down, Kota, please, for the love of God. So maybe this was Kota Ibushi's femur here from the skeleton. There's then a throat thrust from Ethan, sending Wagner into like a table here as Booker's talking about the medulla oblongata. Somehow Ethan Page is busted open a lot, which is crazy. So remember, half of his face is face painted like red, white, and black. And then the other half now is just covered in red blood, which is nuts. So very nice. The crowd start to get really into this. I was getting really into this at this point too. There's a sidewalk slam into a chair from Page, and then he starts to rip at the mask of Wagner, and he completely rips off the top part. So it's almost like now his mask looks like Scorpion or Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat.
He looked scary. It looked great, right? Because I think he had a bit of makeup underneath there as well. So it looked really cool.
Yeah, very Sub-Zero, like Scorpion, the face covering thing. So this pisses him off and gets hyped up here. He comes in with a flying code breaker, a running kick for a 2 count. And then he sets Page up in the corner with a chair and hits a Van Wagonator, I guess you could say. That's what I'm calling it. A Van Daminator, a Van Wagonator, with the like coast to coast from one side, drop kicking the chair into the face here. But Page kicks out. I thought that was awesome. Page again rips at the mask and then throws him into a chair again, and then sets up an Ego's edge onto a trash can, but somehow Wagner kicks out of that. That looked pretty nasty. He then gets Rona'd off the top onto a chair.
Wow.
Which that could have been so bad.
Oh, I've watched this back. He lands like on his spine on the back bit of the chair. Like we've seen people take like Death Valley drivers on this.
We've seen Adam Cole take a lot of that.
But,
yeah,
like this is from the top rope, doing like coming down with more speed because he's essentially doing like a senton, isn't he?
Right.
From this Rana. This looked terrifying.
So Page somehow gets up here. Wagner's going up top for something else, but Page comes out of nowhere with what looks like a bag of cocaine, and he just throws this into the face of Wagner, who the mask is ripped off, so his eyes were completely exposed here. So the baby powder or the Mr. Fuji in the eyes here, allowing him to connect with a twisted grin off the top through a table for the 1, 2, 3, and Ethan Page pins El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. in 18 minutes, 22 seconds to retain the North American title.
Yeah, I think this was my match of the night.
Me too,
I really enjoyed this. I think Ethan Page manages to find a way to be really creative in the like WWE restricted hardcore matches, right? Like we see so many kendo sticks, so many trash can lids, and I think Page manages to find a way of being really violent without using, blood or thumbtacks, barbed wire, all that sort of stuff. Just the nastiness of, targeting the throat, like chair around the head and targeting the throat, or like the bump he took on that chair. I think we've seen this more than once with him in WWE now, where he can really be creative and really mean in these kind of matches. I thought the mask ripping really worked. Nitpick, I could have done some fighting in the graveyard in this one, maybe a bit more, like just bring a little bit Day of the Deadness to it, other than the lights and stuff. But I thought this was a solid match. I thought El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. looked so much better than he did in that match against Lexus King. I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Oh, yeah, that was night and day from that. Yeah, I think this was my match of the night. I think it had a bit of a slow start, but then they started to really mesh well together. Like Wagner is a luchador and he does a lot of cool, fast stuff, but he's also not the smallest guy.
Oh, he's good size. Yeah.
Yeah. So like him and Page had a bit of a slugfest, and I really liked it. So I've been loving Page again when he's not like a cowardly guy and he's more of a serious threat. It is way more interesting. And you said it, like WWE, we see in NXT so many times, main roster too, but like these hardcore matches where we want tables and kendos and trash cans, and it's always the same rinse repeat match, like whatever. But at least Paige comes up with like creative ways to make like who lodges the chair and then uses it to then throw the guy into it. Like not people do the stuff with the ego's edge on it. Like he comes up with like more creative things.
Even
the skeleton
powder, we don't like it's an old trope, but we don't see the powder get used too much either, do we?
We need him to use some Canadian maple syrup next time to help him get a victory. But yes, the greatest North American self-proclaimed to ever do it retains here in a Day of the Dead match. I would like them to bring this back. Day of the Dead match. You know, our friends, speaking of Day of the Dead, our friends Demand Lucha are doing a Lucha show, a free Day of the Dead, November 1st Lucha show on Saturday in Toronto. And I know they're doing a show this Thursday as well. Shout out our friends Demand Lucha. If you are in the Toronto area and you love your Lucha like we do, check out their shows. They got one this Thursday in Parkdale as well. And if you like matches like this, I think I have to work, and I'm so upset that I can't go to this. A casket match, PCO versus Microman. It's screaming match of the year, and
that sounds great.
I can't go to this one, but holy shit, if you're in Toronto, please go for me. But if you love the Lucha and the Day of the Dead, I'll be at that one for sure. But I thought this was my match of the night. Honestly, Wagner is pretty fun, and Ethan Page. This act needs to be on the main roster. I feel like it's something that would really take off with like a U.S. title run. Be the guy to take it from Ilya and do this exact run on the main roster with Chelsea even. I think it would really work. We go to Kalani Jordan backstage with Jordan Grace, who's interrupting her. Jordan Grace may be my costume of the night here. Velma.
Right.
You know, I'm a Velma guy. Velma here, Jordan Grace interrupting, and Kalani is the Queen of Hearts. I couldn't quite. She had like cards all around her dress, so maybe she was a full house, a royal flush.
Yeah, I think the Queen of Hearts.
Queen of Hearts, but she had other cards that weren't hearts. But I'll let it slide. Kalani basically says you're real obsessed with TNA because it's all you can achieve to get. You're not on my level essentially, and even though she's the TNA Knockouts champion. So Jordan says Jenkies and slaps Kalani, and the match is set for this upcoming Tuesday. Knockouts title on the line, I believe, as well. Jenkies.
Kalani's a full heel now?
Yeah.
Would we say? I mean, she was being like, just saying like, go back to your comfort zone of the TNA Knockouts Championship, all this. And I like this. I like how they've been building this feud. Just like subtle jealousy that's getting a lot less subtle and a little bit more out of control. And both are fantastic wrestlers. So I'm really looking forward to this feud getting going and the matches we come out of it.
You know, Jordan Grace and Kalani, I'm really big fans of their in-ring work, but I'd say it's their promo and their backstage promos and stuff that definitely maybe needs work on, and this definitely kind of showed me that again, where I'm like, maybe Kalani, which I've been saying for way too long, like once goes full heel, I think she might be able, like Roxanne, she was kind of the same, where Roxanne was so squeaky clean young character that I just didn't like, and then when she became heel, that managed to like fully flesh out her personality, and I think that would be the same thing with Kalani and Jordan down the line, but we'll see what happens on Tuesday. We also get an announcement in November when NXT goes to New York at MSG Theater. There are going to be a 2-week event, Gold Rush, featuring NXT, TNA, and AAA wrestlers competing in a 2-week special. So they will be recording a second, and they're going to be doing 2 tapings here on the November 18th, I believe it is, coming up in about a month or so. So look forward to a 2 weeks of AAA, TNA, and NXT together. And the funniest thing, Evolve. Oh, how could I forget that?
So is this every title being defended, or at least one title from each brand?
It's Night of Champions for the wrestling shows people don't really watch. I'm sorry to say it, but it's like Evolve, NXT, TNA, AAA. All right.
I mean, this is WWE developmental, isn't it? Like all of these brands now at this point.
I think this is pretty cool. At least we have something like to look forward to, especially TV specials. I'm all for. I really liked the way they brought the TNA NXT one together, even though it was kind of thrown together half-assed. At least it was something. So with this, I think they could do the same thing. And with having 2 weeks, what's really funny about this, as we were talking about off air before recording, it's the same week as Full Gear, and Davie and I actually booked to go to New York for Full Gear, and we booked to leave right after this show happens. So now we're like, oh, we could have been in New York for this show. We miss it literally by a few hours or by a day because we're already going to be in town for Full Gear that weekend anyway. Yeah. So maybe we can try to maneuver some flight changes, and we will try to, because like, hey, we're going to be in the city anyways. I feel so stupid that we didn't clue into this. And they only really announced this whole like special tonight, but pending, we might be attempting to go to this show in the Big Apple. So either way, we will be covering this. But yes, Gold Rush coming November 18th, 2 weeks of some fun stuff. We get a video for Tatum Paxley sitting down with Izzy. She kind of cuts off Tatum, talking about how she's the one who's going to win and kind of downplaying Lyra and her friendship. And Tatum says, either way, I have friends all around me that love me, the NXT universe.
Yes.
But that made me believe we were going to that match, but we weren't. So is that in replacement? I have a feeling that those things were played instead of commercials for us.
Right. You know? Okay. Possibly.
I think, because there was a few of those, like the Ethan Page one, etc.
Yeah, maybe.
We go to North American Women's Championship. Sol Ruca is injured. Therefore, her friend Zaria is going to be in her place, defending her honor and the title against Blake Monroe.
Yeah, I think we just skipped over that Zaria and Sol had a little backstage moment where Sol
we talked about that earlier.
Doc cleared her for being ringside.
Oh, okay. She's cleared to be ringside with her knee brace out here. Blake Monroe, she's okay. So Zaria's Halloween costume, she's just more extra spooky. She usually dresses pretty spooky anyways, but now she's got
Zaria to me.
She was skeleton face.
Right.
Blake Monroe, she had a pretty good costume, I thought. She was the bride of Chucky.
Yep.
Right? She was like dressed as a bride, but then the whole, was it Jennifer Tilly? Shout out Jennifer Tilly. Anyways, Zaria versus Blake Monroe. They start to brawl. Zaria making this a little personal here. She keeps attacking her, but Blake manages to start attacking the arm of Zaria and starts to beat down on this and putting her in a different arm bars here. There's a big drop kick from Blake early on, like really nailing Zaria, and then puts her in a very, very beautiful Fujiwara armbar here with a crank on it. Very impressive from Blake. Zaria starts to come back, though. There's a nice, like, Northern Lights overhead throw. Like, it was nothing to her throwing this girl. Blake, though, continues to attack the arm. This is where there's a Booker T chant for some reason breaking out in Arizona. Booker no-sells it, or probably can't hear. Blake throws Zaria into the steps, kind of ringside in front of Sol. And then Zaria is screaming in pain to the referee that her shoulder is popped out. So Sol, who's on crutches, shoves Zaria into the ring post to pop her shoulder back in. Wow. Why don't you ever do this for me, Davey, when we're out? And I'm like, man, my shoulder's popped out. Can you just...
I wasn't clear at first. Like, I thought for a second, wait, has Sol... turning on Zaria, but no, she just knew the exact point to shove her into the pole to get this
for
fixed.
About 0.001 seconds. I was on the same wavelength as you. I was like, wait, what? And then it's like, oh no, she's just popping her shoulder back in. Oh yes, of course. How could I not realize that? Zaria then just goes like beast mode here after getting her shoulder popped in. She hits a series of German suplexes and then goes for the F5, but this is countered into another armbar. Salt of the earth here from Blake. Very nice. Zaria eventually fights out of it, but then we see Blake pulls out the hair pick that she used to the throat of Zaria. But before she can use it, Zaria spears her, but Blake kicks out. Zaria tries to capitalize, but Blake goes out of the ring and then shoves Sol Ruca here. And this pisses off Zaria, so she goes into the ring and tries to help Soul.
She trips her, right? So like she's on the crutches, and it's done quite subtly where it looks like Blake accidentally trips her, but then in the replay it shows her like look down slightly, so she knew what she was doing.
So she goes in the ring. Zaria is kind of distracted, and I think it's not one but two glamour shot DDTs, and Blake Monroe pins Zaria to become the new Women's North American champion in 11 minutes 4 seconds.
Yeah, I thought some of the arm work from Blake Monroe looked really nice. Like there were multiple counters from positions we don't really see counters into, like the F5 into the armbar and stuff like that. Looked really nice. Overall, though, I wasn't a big fan of the match. I did find that ring post spot with the shoulder quite silly. Like just kind of didn't quite believe it. Like, and suddenly like the shoulder going back in, you just don't feel anything and you can move again. I didn't think that was great. I thought the finish felt quite flat. Like the trip of Soul just didn't really look that good. And we've got another top star with just a shitty DDT finish.
Okay, I like hers more than I like Ricky Saints. Like Ricky Saints is every fucking luchador cruiserweight dude does a tornado DDT. At least hers is more of the like Death Rider or the
double underhook.
Yeah,
right?
Hers at least looks better, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This kind of left me a little cold. I was expecting maybe a bit more progression with the Soul Zaria thing. And I just found this, for Blake Monroe's first title win, I found this quite anticlimactic. And still, I don't feel I'm seeing enough from Zaria. Like I feel she came in like with like a lot of, buzz about her, and I'm not really seeing it personally. So this was on the lower end of the card for me personally.
I know what you mean. There was some good stuff in the match, but I think it's the story of the injury really messed this up. Like I would have preferred not seeing that shoulder pop stuff or Soul at all and everything. Like I think Zaria, there is something there with her. I just feel with this story and stuff, we were waiting for them to explode or implode so that we get the big Zaria heel turn or Soul heel turn. And now we're not. So it's kind of like, what do we do? Blake is the heel, where it's kind of backwards. I'd rather see this monster destroy people. Like when she's doing the big moves, she looks good. And same with Blake when she does some of the arm stuff. And she's good. They're two good workers. This story was kind of whatever. So I didn't hate it, but it definitely didn't blow me away. So I think there's a better match between these two down the line. And I hope Sol Ruca does come back, hopefully sooner rather than later. So we could go to this match, but we shall see. So there you go. New Women's North American champion, Blake Monroe.
Yes.
We go backstage. Ren Sinclair is with Kendall Gray, the Evolve champ, and Carmen Petrovic. And she's on FaceTime with Charlie Regal, Charlie Dempsey. And she's talking about wrestling holds and stuff from this past week when she calls it the Ren QCC. And he's like, what's all this about you saying you're going to call it the Ren QCC? And she's like, gotta go. And she like hangs up. And then she says to the other girls like, oh, I guess they have NXT in Japan. Would do they? I guess they do. If they have Netflix, it's probably on there, like how we watch it. This is where Lash Legend comes in and says like, oh, look at these losers, essentially. And she kind of brushed off Kendall Gray on Tuesday and says, oh, you may be the Evolve champ, but things are different here in NXT than it is in Evolve. Kendall Gray says, oh yeah, well, why don't we run it this Tuesday? And I think it's Ren who says she didn't even put the title on the line. So Lash says, yeah, do that, and I'm going to snatch that title come Tuesday. So Lash Legend, Kendall Gray, Evolve Championship Tuesday night on NXT.
Yeah, cool. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Kendall, and this is like, quite a David versus Goliath match here because Lash is like twice the size of Kendall Gray. So Kendall Gray, is that her name? Yes.
Yeah.
And she had she started a new catchphrase here as well, didn't she? She what was it she said? Let's see if she's ready for the gray area.
It's a gray area.
So do we assume that Ren is trying? Well, Ren is trying. She's been saying she's trying to add more women to the NQCC. So now the addition of Carmen Petrovic as well.
Yeah, like the no quarter catch cruise is not anything really anymore, but it's supposed to be all about wrestling and stuff, right? It's like Catch Point or whatever, but like a dojo, Diamond Mind, insert NXT stable name here, but it's the wrestling guys group people. So if you have Carmen, who's like the karate expert, and then you have Kendall, who's the like All-American or whatever wrestler and Evolve champ, I think that makes sense. Yeah, that's a pretty cool team. I think Kendall Gray could be a pretty big deal in WWE. So it's a gray area. What is that the best you could? I feel like her name, you could use so many, like the future is gray, gray skies as like a finishing move, or like gray effect, gray. I don't know. There's a few.
Gray area is okay.
Gray area. Yeah. Like anytime someone wants to talk to her, like, sorry, I can't talk. It's a gray area, and then walks off.
Yes.
Sorry, you're in a gray area right now. Anyways, more gray puns to come soon in the future on not only NXT, but upNXT, I assure you. But yes. But you know what's even better than a gray area? The truth. And the truth will ultimately prevail. But there is pain bringing it to light. I think I said that right. Tatum Paxley comes out. It's weird that she comes out with their music, but I could not tell you what Tatum Paxley's music was before. I mean,
she's in the culling. This is her music. Yeah.
I don't like this music. So out comes Tatum Paxley. You know, I did like her costume. Her costume was really cool. It was like evil vampire lady. She had like the white gear with red blood stuff, and then like red vampire contact lenses, very vampirella almost. I don't know what it was exactly, but it was nice.
This is this is her regular gear, like the style of the gear, the little skirt and that, but made Halloween.
Yeah, very more spooky here with the culling, with her all wearing white. Like a evil cult here, but with the red contacts on her. Looked very cool. Fatal Influence, Jacy Jayne, the champion. So it's Tatum versus Jacy. I thought Fatal Influence's costumes were a little weak here. There's 3 of you, and your costume was, we're going to add a little purple.
They were the Judgment Day, essentially, weren't they?
Like, what? Like, they all had little, like, spider webs on their faces. I was like, oh, right. There's 3 of you. There's so much opportunity for costume here.
Yes.
You didn't do it. So Lainey Reed, though, she had the best costume. She was dressed as Jasmine Nix here for Fatal Influence on Halloween Havoc. As Tatum versus Jacy starts, there's a good back and forth between the two of them pretty fast. Tatum gets this almost gory special pinning attempt here. That was nice. Jacy, though, ringside, gets Tatum underneath the ring and does a guillotine, sending Tatum face first into this, getting her back in the ring with a jumping neck breaker for a 2 count. Booker T going off about Lainey Reed, #1 draft pick. Vic's like, yeah, we know, Book. She's signed already. She's literally in the group on the show. She's signed. Jacy hits a Jacy by nature lariat here for a 2 count. This is when Tatum starts to come back with a very nice, don't know what it was, but a fisherman buster type move. That was pretty cool.
It was a counter as well. She caught it right into it, which looked real smooth.
Always gave my creative wrestler this move when I was younger, like a fisherman DDT kind of thing. Jacy comes back, though, when they're fighting on the top with an avalanche neck breaker. This is when Sean Spears gets involved by putting Tatum's foot on the ropes. So the culling is, in fact, helping Tatum here. They're behind her. This is when Booker T reminds me of the catchphrase he's really trying to get over for Sean Spears, the GPS. Because you put in your coordinates and he gets you there. This is when, because of the interference, now Fatal Influence start to get in the faces of the culling. So they start to brawl, and we see Fallon out of nowhere with a WrestleMania 22 inspired Rey Mysterio 619 around the post connecting to Izzy here as they start to all fight, and it's a separation. So the ref says to the culling, you are out of here.
Out of here.
And then he looks at Fallon and Lainey and says, you are out of here. So he kicks everyone out of here except the 2 in the match. This is when Jacy is distracted, gets dropped, and Tatum goes up top and hits a 450 for a 1-2, but Jacy kicks out. This is when I thought the crowd are really starting to get into this and get behind Paxley. This is when there's a hangman neckbreaker from Jacy between the ropes, and then she continues to try to pin her, but the teams come running back out again. Izzy Dame is not with the culling, but is like ringside and grabs the belt and slides in the ring and almost sets up like she's going to hit Tatum with the title. But as she's trying to do that, she runs at her and Jacy nails her with the rolling encore elbow.
Yeah, Tatum ducks, but there's a pause before she runs. So you're left to believe, oh, was this planned where Izzy is like, duck, I'm going to hit Jacy, or did she catch her at the wrong time or whatever? Yeah. So it's left a bit ambiguous whether Izzy was attempting to hit Jacy or Tatum.
So Jacy nails her with the elbow, but then turns around and Tatum connects with what they call the cemetery drive. It's like a page turner. Hits Jacy with this 1, 2, 3, and new NXT Women's Champion Tatum Paxley in 16 minutes, 28 seconds. Wow. Big shocker, big upset here. The crowd are going wild. Izzy's celebrating with Tatum, the culling. They did it. I was definitely shocked by this outcome. Like I think we said in our preview and predictions this week, like our heart was with Tatum Paxley, but our head was saying, it's probably just Jacy. So I was pleasantly surprised with this twist.
Yeah, this is my other candidate for match of the night. I thought both worked really well, and it's been great seeing the improvement of both of them. In the chat, Big Time Baxter says, "I really hope Jayne does not fall back down the card because she's worked very hard with the title and gave her credibility." I agree. She's had some pretty good matches with this title run, and they got a lot more out of it than I think a lot were expecting when she initially beat Vacare. But the improvements of Tatum, some of those counters she was hitting in this, the smoothness she wrestles with, and then beautiful 450 and just natural baby face. The crowd really like Tatum. I think the NXT crowd, they follow this product weekly, and they do see this is developmental. We've seen these people from literally their first match to now, and Tatum's come a long, long way. I really liked it. I thought the near falls towards the end were really good. They built it to make you believe that, you had that 450 spot with Tatum earlier in the match. You thought that was the hope spot, and then Jacy's going to sneak out the victory again. So genuine surprise finish to this. And I kind of like Spears. I know Spears sort of helped Tatum during the match, but Spears and Vance were coming across pure babyface in this as well.
Yeah.
And I think that works so much better for them. I think especially with Vance, we might start seeing more personality from him. He's not just this silent muscle that stood behind. They've been giving him a lot more. And keep it with, these two are very supportive of Tatum. Have them start working babyface. And Izzy is the question mark, where inevitably there is going to be a turn coming, and that will be the feud that comes out of this, most likely. But I really enjoyed this, and I think this should have closed the show, personally.
Yeah, I don't know if that maybe would have gave it away, but I definitely preferred this world title match to the men's. That was the main event. But yeah, this Tatum character is like been through a lot. I referenced Diamond Mine, right? Wasn't she involved with that stable like all those years ago? And she's kind of been all around with the character stuff, the dolls. She was with Gigi and Shotzi. They were both let go. You're probably wondering like, oh, am I going to be let go as well? She wasn't. And then the stuff with Izzy, I feel like she's been someone whenever we've seen her on TV, she has improved, but people have gotten behind her. So it comes as a bit of a shock, but I think I prefer it than, like, I'm not saying I dislike Jacy's run, but I kind of wanted to move forward to see who else we could go to. And wouldn't it be funny if you brought up Fatal Influence now? when Nyx left because she wasn't being paid, and then they just move up to the main roster where she
got that main
probably
roster
wanted
contract,
to be anyway. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably the case.
Yeah, it is curious where we go with Jacy after this. I think there's I think there is something you could do with them moving up together, but it's whether you do want to do that Jacy and Fallon feud as well before you move them up. But I think those two in particular are very much ready for main roster at this point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. But pretty cool to see Tatum do this. She had the gimmick, remember, with Lyra, where she was going after the belt, like, my precious. Now she finally has it. So we will have to see on Tuesday if the Culling do a bit of evolution. Triple H Batista, thumbs up, thumbs down, kick her out of the group, or be babyface with her for a while. Or was Izzy trying to hit her with that belt? We shall see. But a feel-good moment here. I think maybe the highlight of this was her getting some flowers here, and hopefully a start of a good run for the Pax. The tater tot. It's the groups, right? The tater tots. Are you a tater tot? We'll see. We go backstage. Ava is with Miles Bourne. He was looking pretty fresh today. I don't know if he was in a Halloween costume. It was a nice suit.
No, he didn't get the memo. Ava's wearing her devil's horns and a bit of makeup as well.
Very nice. This is Miles talking with Ava, and he's pissed about Josh Briggs coming in last week and talking shit, essentially. They referenced NXT Anonymous was what caught that video. And he says, NXT Anonymous, who even is that? And she goes, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'll try to figure out who it is. So are we finally going to get a reveal after years of NXT Anonymous? We're going to find out. It's
no, we're not. I don't think so.
Not going to happen. This is
it's more of just a plot device, isn't it? I don't think it's ever meant to be like a real who is the person stalking on everyone. It's more just another way we can shoot angles, which isn't just two people backstage talking. It's meant to be a bit more candid.
Who could it possibly be? If you were to look at this kayfabe wise, for years, it has to be someone who's just still in NXT. It's Robert Stone.
Right.
It's like, who's been here for this long that's been doing this?
Yeah.
It's probably him.
Yeah.
So sorry if I just blew that story, but I mean, they got rid of the other assistant GM, right? Stevie.
Yes, she's gone.
So Stone, maybe she fires him. Wouldn't that be a funny angle? She catches that it's Stone and then she fires him for stalking employees. But Miles is upset about Briggs when Tavion Heights walks in and says he's pissed about Briggs and wants a match. But Miles is like, no, I want a match. Tavion's like, you already had a match and you lost. So like, I want the match. So Ava's like, hey, why don't you two have a match instead? So Tuesday, ex-friends, maybe Miles versus Tavion. I think we said on last week's show that one of these guys has got to turn, and I think it's going to be Tavion, because it wouldn't make sense. Someone in the chat saying put them back as a tag team. It's like, yeah, that would make sense. Why did they not stay as a tag team to begin with? But
I think Tavion should be the guy turning heel. We had that Pro USA run against Ethan Page where the fans kind of turned on him a bit anyway. I think Bourne has so much more natural babyface charisma about him. And even in this second segment here, Miles was the one being a bit more reasonable, whereas Tavion was being a bit more like shitty about it, like a little bit more whiny. So that's the way I'd go. But that could be a good match between those two. Like both of them as wrestlers. So yeah, but would you perhaps even, they didn't say the winner of this faces Briggs, but it was kind of alluded to. Would you have Tavion join Briggs?
I don't know. He's going to have another friend?
Yeah.
I don't think that guy needs any friends
anymore.
Imagine Tavion wearing a vest. Come on. I don't know if we want that. He just gives him Inamura's vest.
Yeah.
Have you seen clips Inamura back in Japan? Now he's wearing a cowboy hat.
Oh, nice.
He dropped the vest, but he's like, yo, cowboy hat, though. That shit's pretty gas.
Cowboy Inamura.
Yeah, cowboy Inamura. So Miles and Tavion Tuesday. We get a commercial and an advertisement for NXT Deadline coming Saturday, December 6th in San Antonio, Texas, the home of HBK. We going to get him on the card? He's going to wrestle?
No, but we will get the video of him explaining the rules of the Iron Survivor, which is always fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Saturday, PLEs. We love them.
Yeah. Go back and listen to our rants previous years of Saturday PLEs.
We love our Saturday PLEs.
We'll be here on the Sunday.
We will be here December 7th talking about the Iron Survivors. And those matches are pretty good. So they are bringing that.
I always enjoy them. So yeah, excited for that.
Okay. I know that's like December 6th. That's a while away. Winners of the 2 Iron Survivors. Go. Who do you think? Trick again. Obafemi, Javon. Ooh, Javon. Javon could win it. The winner of that gets the next PLE.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a bit of a tag run with them.
True.
I'm going to say
Briggs,
John Grace, and Briggs should be challenging Ricky at some point. Looking at the up and down the heels, there aren't many, right? It's so maybe Briggs. He should have a title shot.
Jordan Grace and Josh Briggs.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. We go to our next match. NXT Tag Team titles on the line. The champions, the Hardys, the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff, taking on DarkState. So this is a broken rules match. And if you wonder to yourself, what is a broken rules match? It means the rules are broken in this match. We have the Broken Hardys returning to WWE, or I guess debuting, if you will, Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero.
Yes, we had Matt's old broken WWE theme with the laughing and everything that he had back in
piano.
That would be in like 2018, I guess, 2018, 2019, around then. But yeah, first time we've had Broken Jeff on the show as well. Yes,
Broken Brother Nero. So we saw the video on Tuesday on NXT hyping up this match that this would be broken, but it was pretty crazy considering the whole license of Broken and Matt Hardy and the whole universe. Like that was so long ago. It feels almost 10 years ago now or something like that. But here they are officially in WWE NXT. So broken rules match. This is a rematch of Hardys and DarkState from the Showdown, but this time anything goes. And in the match, it will be Osiris Griffin and Dion Lennox taking on Brother Nero and Broken Matt. Early on, the Hardys are fighting these. They're trying to fight all 4 of them off here at some point. There's a double DDT from Matt Hardy to 2 of these guys. There's tables and ladders all set around the ringside here. Of course, we got the Slim Jim Halloween Havoc tables. I saw a video before the show of Jeff Hardy painting these tables specifically for this match. I like that. I like seeing.
They look cool. Yeah, I like.
These should continue this tradition. I know, who is it? Balls Mahoney used to have the specific chair spray painted for his matches. Like, this is something cool with Jeff doing that. Like, I'm making art and then I'm going to put you through it. So it was like these big pumpkins and stuff. It was pretty cool. So we have these pumpkin tables and Jeff sets one up and goes to backdrop Osiris through this table, but he completely misses this, and very scary moment, but I assume he was fine because he got up and continued this match. But quickly after, Jeff realizes and then just suplexes him through it. The cameras miss it, so on the replay they go back to him and be like, hey, like, just put him through the table. But so Jeff is beating down on him with this thing through the table. Matt Hardy in the ring hits Dion with a twist of fate into the chair that we've seen. Actually, Matt using this on his brother at their WrestleMania match with the chair between the throat here, but it's broken up. Jeff goes and does like a running jump off the steps to Sugars and Cutler to take them out on the outside. And then it's Matt in the ring who's getting beat down by the other 2 with like trash cans and chairs. There's a 3D on Matt, but Jeff comes in for the save there. And now he's got like kendo sticks and stuff. Osiris then tackles Jeff through a barricade ringside as all the members of DarkState are down for this one. But then Jeff gets back in the ring somehow and gets the offense and then hits a swanton bomb, but the pin is broken up. They also hit the plot twist, but there is a kick out here from Lennox. And then the ladders come out. They are set up, and Brother Nero climbs up the big ladder. Matt holds it tight. The two tables are set up, and he goes for the swanton. But Osiris moves out of the way. Jeff Hardy, eating shit through these two tables here, takes himself out of this match, leaving Matt alone. He eats a spine buster in the ring, and then he continues to fight and kicks out of stuff. But it's finally when Jeff gets back in, they hit him with a doomsday device through the table on Jeff, and Dion Lennox pins Jeff Hardy to regain the NXT tag titles in 19 minutes, 8 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was fun for the crowd. You know, it's always cool seeing Jeff jump off stuff. But I feel I've kind of seen it all before and been a bit more interesting. I thought there was more they could have done with the broken gimmick. Like, I'm not saying a full-on cinematic match, but try to incorporate elements. Like, you know, when we had during the pandemic, the first Stadium Stampede, and then when it came to Anarchy in the arena, it's like, how do we create these spots that we did in Stadium Stampede, which was pre-produced and things, in front of a live crowd? And I was wanting to see stuff like that, you know, someone driving a tractor through the graveyard set or something. I don't know, but it just felt generic WWE plunder with Jeff taking a bump off a ladder, which we've seen 100 times at this point. I don't think it was a match either that really elevated DarkState, who I think they're, you know, we're a broken record at this point where we don't like the gimmick. We find the promos incredibly generic. There's some good wrestlers in there. Like, I think Dion Lennox can hit some really nice spine busters and suplexes and things. And, but I don't think this was a match that like elevated them where you go, okay, those boys put in a shift there. It was just a bit bland and generic for me and didn't really hit the Halloween Havoc vibes as I think it should have.
I think it was fine if you were there. Like, you got to see the Hardys wrestle. The Hardys were really over. Again, every time we watch them in 2025, the tickets are selling because of Matt Hardy. And not Matt Hardy, the Hardy Boys. But like, I think of that tweet that was after Bound for Glory of Matt Hardy being like, hey, no disrespect, but we're the ones who sold those tickets. And it's like, just because you say no disrespect doesn't mean that you're disrespecting people. Yeah. Because I thought that was pretty disrespectful, but I know what he means, because like, they were some of the most over people on this show watching today. But I think it was passable. Like, there was cool spots, whatever, but it didn't go like it's basically a copy paste of so many of these Hardy matches, and DarkState haven't showed me necessarily much of what they even are. Like, they say the same copy paste thing every week since they've showed up of like, nobody's safe. Okay. Why is nobody safe? What are you trying to do? Okay. At least giving them the titles and having them wanting to be champions is something to strive for. But this was a pretty playing it safe. I was expecting some like broken iterations or interactions or cinematch added stuff, and I can't believe I'm saying that. Like, I wish it had that, but I think it would have maybe made it a bit more like interesting, a bit more flair.
You know, something pre-produced that starts
an entrance
that goes into it, where they're making their way, they're in the haunted house or whatever, and then they make their way brawling to the ring.
Zombie ref.
Something, but it was essentially, it looked like a TLC match. It was set up with the ladders and the tables and the chairs all around the ring. Like, I
didn't hate it. Like, you still got like the best of the Hardys doing crazy shit, but it,
as I said,
it was like, a little copy paste.
I think if you were there live, you'd have enjoyed it, because you're like, shit, I saw Jeff do a swanton bomb off a 20-foot ladder through a table. That's cool. But it's against DarkState on NXT in 2025.
Yeah, it's like, it's trying to dangle the carrot of like, ooh, look, Hardy Boys, but you got to watch them against these guys who are pretty green. So I don't know. I'm not necessarily writing them off, but we got to have some like story or character stuff. You can't just keep saying the same stupid thing. I will say, gotta shout out Jeff Hardy and his outfit. Maybe this was one of the better actual wrestlers, aside from the Terrifier Mike Rome costume. Jeff Hardy with the Fiend outfit here, I thought was very touching. Like he had the Fiend makeup, like the Fiend mask, right, as his makeup, and then like the all red jumpsuit, which right away I was like, whoa, that looks like the Fiend almost. But
who was Matt's partner in WWE?
Exactly. So I thought that was pretty cool, especially some of the spots where it's like, whoa, the Fiend face paint. So
a nice nod.
Yeah,
I'm going to be honest though. I thought all the costumes were disappointing. I thought the whole Halloween vibe was disappointing, and yeah.
Fair.
Up your game, guys. Up your game.
They're
your
just
Moxie
lazy.
Was better. My Dominic was better. Come on.
What
you have seamstresses working there. Like,
well, I get it if you're wrestling, because like you can't just.
Yeah, I don't know. We've seen better stuff though, better entrance gear and things. It's
okay. So out of everyone's costume on this show, what was your favorite costume?
None of them.
You didn't have a favorite one?
No.
All right. So come Friday, if your costume isn't as good as anyone's on the show, you're gonna get shit.
I'm wearing a Jays jersey on Friday.
Oh, fuck off. Oh, what a lame. I've already seen so many people posting yesterday. Like, oh, I was at a Halloween party. Look at my costume. What were you? Jays. Oh, okay. You have an excuse.
Halloween will come back next year and the year after and the year after that. It's
usually
it could be another 32 years, Braden.
I do feel like there could have been more costumes and stuff. And especially promoting the broken rules, like that was when you do like scary shit. But they didn't. Where was Senior Benjamin?
Yeah.
Where was those creepy
Children.
30 kids that they've got on that compound or whatever? Like, yeah, I was missing that. But anyways, new champions, which I think you were saying like it makes sense to just go back to DarkState because we're gonna go to Javon and Leon versus that clearly, and that's where we go after the match. Leon Slater, Javon Evans backstage. I love this, by the way. Those DarkState guys beat the fuck out of the Hardys there. Too bad they didn't have anyone to save them. Oh shit, dude, should we have gone out there and saved them? And Javon's like, nah, they told us they didn't want that. It's like, really? I don't know if that's what they told them. I just love them coming to realization.
Segment, they came across so slow, the two of them, because then they're like, wait, but now that means DarkState are the tag team champions. Wait,
yes, correct.
DarkState ruined our match at Bound for Glory.
Figure it out.
Now,
Yep.
now
like,
we're a tag team. Maybe we should challenge DarkState for the tag team titles. It's like, yes, boys, yes,
yeah.
we worked that out before you.
they've been hanging out with the Rascals a little bit there.
Yeah,
the Halloween hash. But yeah, they were really like spelling it out for you. Like, oh, now they're the champions. We should stay as a team and then go. It's like, yeah, like
obviously,
kayfabe wise, I'm sorry, but the Hardys. You're telling me Leon and Javon couldn't go out there and save them? Where's Hank and Tank? I know they're actually.
Hey, the Hardys told them not to. They're respecting that.
I think if Hank and Tank weren't in Japan, they would have come out and helped them. But no one wants to help the Hardys.
Also, I don't think anyone else is saying, "Where's Hank and Tank?"
Someone in our chat said, "Where's Hank and Tank?"
Okay.
And it's like, yeah, I guess so. Like, no one came out to help these guys.
The
Hardys.
They didn't want it.
They told them, "Don't come out there and help us." But yeah, I imagine the next paper PLE deadline, maybe it's Leon and Javon versus DarkState.
Yeah,
we shall see. So this Tuesday, Kendall Gray versus
on the Gold Rush shows.
Right. Yes, true. So Tuesday, Kendall Gray, Lash Legend, Evolve Women's Title. Also Miles Bourne versus Tavion Heights. Kalani Jordan Grace for the TNA Knockouts title. And are you ready? I know you're excited. The Speed Tournament Finals, Axiom taking on Jasper Troy.
Oh, great. Yeah.
It's just Jasper Troy's, like, what is it called? What their picture?
Render.
Yeah. Jasper Troy's render, dude. Just tells me everything I need. It's just like, oh, terrible. He's winning the whole thing, isn't he? We get an insert promo from El Grande Americano, who says, oh, I'm going to be watching the finals. I'm sending my homies Rayo and Bravo down to keep a close eye on this tournament, and I am ready to defend my speed championship. This was clearly what's his face? The European.
Oh, it's Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna see him. Maybe that'll be at the Gold Rush, a speed tournament. Can't wait. We go to our main event, the NXT Men's World Championship. The champion Ricky Saints defending the NXT title against Trick Williams. We get a video package for this. Ricky talking trash to Trick, saying, "You didn't cut it in the NFL and you didn't make it as a rapper, and that's the only reason why you're here. While me, I've been grinding my whole life to make it in WWE NXT." Trick Williams comes out. The crowd are pretty hyped doing the whoop that trick. Booker T is going off his rocker here for a Trick, doing the ad-libs and everything. And he's telling Vic to shut up while he helps him with the ad-libs. And then if Booker wasn't going off for Trick enough, when Ricky makes his entrance, Ricky's wearing this, like, I don't know what kind of coat, almost kind of like what the Young Bucks were wearing at All In, like a.
He's wearing this like almost like Greek gold chain.
Well, he's wearing these chains, but then he's wearing this like coat. But before he does the pose, the coat kind of falls off before, so you can't really see it. And Booker T just absolutely losing it on Ricky. Like, he's laughing. Like, you say this guy's got swag? You say this guy's got it? Like, what are you talking about? Look at this guy. What is he wearing? And Booker T just ripping into Ricky, being like, what is he supposed to be, a gladiator? Zeuxis? What is this guy? Thriller? What does he think he is? Just throughout the whole match, just ripping on Ricky, basically saying he ain't got no swag. And I was like, damn, is there like a real beef here between these two? Because like, or is it just Booker trying to be the heel? But like, to go in on all things of just how this guy looks and acts, I was like, oh, okay.
It is strange because I think you hear, you know, like Booker on Busted Open or whatever, where he'll just go off on people that, you know, he's never watched before.
Yeah.
Like anyone who's got a bit of buzz who's in another company, it's like, oh, I don't really get that guy. And it feels like that with Ricky. It feels like there is maybe an element of truth in what he's saying from his perspective.
Yeah, I feel like he genuinely doesn't like it. It's not even like a heel being like, oh, this guy sucks or whatever. It's just basically this guy's got no juice. This guy's like a fake star, essentially. Yeah. I'm like, wow, okay. Has Ricky not worked Reality of Wrestling? Is that what's it? Ricky, you know that's what you got to do here in NXT. I don't care if you're NXT champion. You got to get through Booker by working a Houston show. Come on. So Ricky comes out with the chains on. Booker's just going nuts, saying he's basically a loser. Trick attacks Ricky here as the match starts. Trick starts to beat down on him, putting the boots to him, throws him out of the ring, or so he thinks, and then starts to pose. But Ricky comes back with an elbow and starts attacking him. Early on, Ricky looks like he's bleeding here. His eyebrows is busted open as Trick is attacking him, hits a jumping blockbuster, but Ricky kicks out of that. Ricky goes for like a Hurricane Rana or something, but Trick counters this into a very nice Lion Tamer and then into like a Boston Crab here. But eventually Ricky gets out of this. Trick hits him with the bookend, but Ricky gets out of this again. Trick counters one of Ricky's attempts and hits the AA, shout out John Cena, but Ricky also gets out of that. Trick starts to get upset here. He goes to the commentary desk. He starts clearing it. And then Ricky starts to attack him there. And then it's Trick who does a bookend through the commentary desk here. So all of Vic's candy goes scattered. He rolls Ricky in the ring. Trick, this is confusing. But Ricky kicks out at 2, so Trick getting even more upset here. Goes to set up for the Trick kick or the Trick shot when he is speared by Saints, and then Ricky connects with the Tornado DDT. 1, 2, 3. Ricky Saints pins Trick Williams to retain the title in 16 minutes, 48 seconds. And I'll just say it just to get it out of the way, but the Tornado DDT, really? Isn't it so anticlimactic?
He does spike them. He does spike them on the top of the head, to be fair, which would probably like knock you out, break your neck. But,
so would a super kick. So would a forearm.
I think it's just the thing, like the DDT has been so devalued over the years that it it is a little. It's difficult because the Rochambeau, like Ricky's not the biggest guy, so he can't hit that move, which I think is a great looking move, the running dominator.
Yeah.
But, you know, Trick's tall. Is he getting him all the way up on there? This is an easier move that you can hit on anyone. But, I'd like something a little flashier. Speaking of just going back to the Booker thing, like, I just find it so funny that he's then going off on Ricky for showboating. And it's like, dude, you literally would stop a match to do a spinneroonie in every match you ever did, like to go off on someone else showboating. But I thought this was fine. I didn't really see Trick winning. I figure he's got to be moving up soon. Yeah. Trick's a weird one. He's definitely got better, but for all the flash he talks, he doesn't show much flash when he wrestles a lot of the time. And I found Ricky's probably someone better fighting from underneath a bit. Just, I don't know. I thought this was serviceable, but bland. And
pretty boring.
It's the same issue we've had with the men's division. I think they just want to keep Javon busy until Stand and Deliver and have his crowning moment there. But you look up and down, like, if you are moving Trick and Ober up, what is this men's division? Like at the top of the card? There is none.
This is pretty boring. Like, I didn't love this match, to be honest. This was more of a TV match, if that. Trick can be good. I love his charisma. I love the character. I think he'll be a fine WWE superstar. But it's his wrestling that can be like kind of boring. Maybe he needs someone to do more of the carrying, the dancing. And Ricky is, not necessarily the flashiest in-ring wrestler. So I thought this was a pretty boring match. And then on top of it, the DDT, I don't think this crowd were conditioned to bite on that as the finish. They were like, no, he's got, it's over. Oh, okay. And I feel like was the same case when he beat Oba.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're going to try to get this DDT over as, hey, this is the move that defeated Oba. But I don't know. It's still just a DDT. And I can get over that, sure. But the match itself was pretty boring. Dare I say, maybe my least favorite match on this show.
Yeah, I didn't find it particularly interesting at all.
Yeah. I think it was my least favorite match on the show. Looking at this card, like, main event maybe should have been a little bit better, but we shall see. So Ricky Saints holding the title high as the show is going off the air. It cuts backstage to the culling, and Tatum says that NXT is going to get even crazier this Tuesday with her celebration. So there you go.
They did ask Izzy as well first. They were like, oh, what was that moment? And she's like, we're not here to talk about me. We're to talk about Tatum. So, yeah.
But she was downplaying. She's not answering that question.
Exactly.
So we'll see if we get Tatum kicked out or something like that. I'm not sure. But, there you go. Halloween Havoc 2025. A bit of the same way NXT PLEs in 2025 leave me with the same taste in my mouth after every single one. And it needed something. It needed some spice. It needed some salt and pepper. It needed something sweet to make it taste good. And they're never that memorable. And this year hasn't been great for the NXT PLEs. I can't say there was anything necessarily like must watch from this show. If anything, I'd say Ethan Page and Dr. Wagner Jr. was my favorite match on the show, but nothing on the show was bad. Nothing on the show was like awful or like, wow, this was so terrible, etc. But it still doesn't feel like this is a must-watch product right now. It almost feels like they're just doing it just to do it kind of show. And I felt that way with this. And I had some excitement going into this with some of these matches and stuff, but I still come out of it being like, it was fine, but
I didn't think there was anything particularly bad, but nothing exciting or dynamic or anything. Like I enjoyed the women's title match and the men's North American title match. They were my two highlights that I got into, both those matches. Everything else, I've been saying this a lot, but I just think there's a severe lack of creativity in WWE right now, from the way matches are put together to storylines to everything. Everything feels very paint by numbers, which is a shame because I think we had that like little honeymoon period when Paul Levesque took over, where you were seeing the the wrestling change a bit. It wasn't headlock as Raw goes on quite as much. And the stories were a little deeper, a little bit more thought out, and feel a bit more real. You know, you don't just do a character shift and forget everything that's happened before. They're honoring things that have happened prior to that. And I think we've just gone away from that. It's so bland and by numbers at the moment. Of course, there's still really good wrestlers in this company and you can see some good matches, but there's nothing interesting that, like I say, like I've seen a swanton through a table many a time. You're going to get a cheap pop from the loud crowd when a table gets pulled out or something, but just try and think of things it's 2025. Let's move wrestling forward. Let's think of new ideas. Let's not go back to the tropes. And I think that's why I'm really enjoying Ethan Page at the moment, because I feel he is the only person thinking outside the box a bit more right now. So yeah, it wasn't bad. I didn't hate it. It's a Sunday morning. I'm watching this, having some breakfast and throwing on the wrestling. Like I wasn't hating myself for watching this show, but it's not leaving me with any lasting impression. If someone says to me, what shall I watch on Halloween Havoc? I really wouldn't say anything. If you're a big Tatum Paxley fan, watch her title win. Like it was a good match, but yeah, it's I feel very just thumbs in the middle all the time at the moment.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely feeling that way. I had some hype going into this show. I don't think it lived up to the expectations I guess I did have. But going forward, you said Tatum Paxley being the new champion. I mean, that's something refreshing. Like whether or not she loses this title quickly or not, but like I think switching it up from Jacy is something new and exciting. But they don't have issues with the women; it's the men's that's still like the problem, and I don't necessarily know what we do to fix that. Just maybe we're lacking talent in this roster of like how many people we can go back to. Like you can't. Trick needs to get away from NXT.
I think that's the thing. I'm apart from obviously Trick, Oba, Ricky Saints and Ethan Page shouldn't be long for NXT at this point. They should, a year from now, all of them should be main roster. But you look at everyone below that, it's like, who is the next crop of talent? Like, because I see a bunch of people who might have a fine lower mid-card run on the main roster, but there's no one screaming out to me as a huge star apart from Javon Evans. And I think that is a problem. Like the women, there's too many good women that it's like, unfortunately not like Tatum. She's been great, but I can't see her like breaking that glass ceiling once she's on the main roster and going any higher. Like I see like this is probably, and maybe I'll be wrong, but probably her peak in WWE will be this NXT title win. But the men, it's like, do you need to start bringing in some other talent from outside, some more established male wrestlers in here? Because the development, I can't see anyone right now that really jumps off the screen.
Aside from Javon Evans, Leon Slater, as soon as they get their pause on his contract, I'm sure he'll be someone they look into as well. Like, unless like some, contracts from people elsewhere. Like it's different these days. It's not everyone rushing just to jump to NXT or WWE. There's so many other options, like your AEW world and so many other things. So it might depend on people, other people from AEW who aren't there anymore. Talking about who could have come out to save the Hardys. What about a Hardy Party? What about a Private Party to come back? Like those guys are gone from AEW, are they not?
It seems that way. I think are they still under contract at the moment?
They're a tag team that could, you couldn't use the name Private Party, but secret soiree.
Yeah.
Coming into what's Secret Soiree doing here in the performance? Like there's a tag team that could like at least spice up the tag team division. Those two against Javon and Leon Slater, that could be something crazy. Yeah. Again, I'm just speculating, but like stuff like that where, Ricky Saints left AEW specifically to come here. Same with Blake Monroe. And I wouldn't say they're champions now, but I wouldn't say they're setting the world on fire as much as she was doing in AEW, but it's still just NXT. As soon as Blake, I think, gets to the main roster and Ricky gets to the main roster, I think they're going to work. They're going to be big stars, but I don't know. Something in NXT is not straight clicking. It's always just like, yeah, it was a show that happened. And I don't feel like we're, like you said, aside from Javon, who really are we looking at? Like,
and I think the amount they keep on trying with this Jasper Troy thing, just for me as a fan, I'm like, you're looking in the wrong direction.
They have been for the past few years. Look, like I said, all the power to Bless Ridge and hopefully a quick painless recovery. But like they tried so hard with that guy. They're going to try so hard with all these people that just don't feel like the right guy. Obafemi will be fine on the main roster.
Yeah.
But
yeah, is there anyone in AEW right now that you think when their contract comes up would be a great addition to this?
I don't know.
And I'm obviously not talking about, Hangman Page, but you're like, maybe it's slightly underused people. We had the Daniel Garcia contract earlier in the year, or was that last year or whatever, where there's that what if, but I'm wondering, like, I'm trying to think people outside of WWE right now who are making names.
There's not a lot
on the indies, and it doesn't seem it right now.
No, the indies right now do not have necessarily like hot characters. I mean, we saw the self-proclaimed indie god last week and he lost. So like, I don't think right now, if you get popular enough on the indies, you last, like, as we've seen, look at the last like 5 years of us going to indie shows, whether it's Ontario scene or just American shows we've been to. Anyone who gets any sort of buzz is gone quickly because they get offered real money and they're going to dip. So like, you can't blame them. But the indies right now is a lot of your like real indie people. I wouldn't say darlings, but like people that you're like, yeah, you're probably going to stay on the indies, or ex-WWE people like Karrion Kross or whoever, right? So,
but it's people that it's also not just in ring, is it? It's people that you can see doing the soap opera of WWE or having the airport test that just, and I think Paige and Ricky both have that, right? They've got a little bit of aura about them. Obafemi as well, Trick Williams as well. Like they're people that you can see fit the WWE mold, that you can see people buying their t-shirts with their catchphrases on and stuff like that. But there's not a lot out there.
I just feel like NXT has been just kind of coasting for a while. There's been some glimmers of some really fun stuff and some really good stuff, but it's just been like passable and kind of just farting on by a little bit for me. Nothing's like reached out and grabbed me to be like, whoa, like this is developmental. I can't wait to see what this happens. And I'm not feeling that for quite a while with the show, but they'll have little glimmers of like good matches or good moments or whatever. But I don't know. There definitely needs to be some sort of shakeup, whether it's bringing in people or they don't mind bringing people down from the main roster either. And I think maybe we could be doing more of that for this show. I don't know.
We can to help the quality of the show, but that doesn't help what the actual aim of NXT is.
But also like before, like you would bring people down because they needed a reset because they don't know what they're doing necessarily. And like, that's not a bad thing either, but I don't know. I don't know what quite it is, but we need some oomph back in NXT. And I didn't quite get it here from Halloween Havoc. Now, I'm not saying this was necessarily Halloween Havoc 2000 levels, but at least Halloween Havoc 2000 was insanely awful. That made it quite honestly a bit more entertaining than this show. So
what's the cage? 6.82 is the cage match rating for this show. So I'd probably go a 5 personally.
Looking at cage match, the Day of the Dead match is the highest rated so far from this show. So I think we're on the money on that one, being the one to watch. But there you go. That was Halloween Havoc. I see we have some feedback here that I'm going to read. We have a Facebook page. I mean, we have Insta, Twitter, all that stuff. Search Poisonrana Pod anywhere you use podcast apps, social media. But Facebook, we have a page you can like. It will lead you to the Facebook group and the chat as well. Chat's always fire. And we post feedback threads and we'll read them on the show. Fire Frank writes in, shout out Tatum. From failed diamond mine recruit to constantly losing her friends to call-ups or future endeavors, she hung in there and climbed the mountain. What a pop, too. Good for her. Slater and Evans have magic together, whether as opponents or partners, and that was a hella fun opener with Parka and Iguana. Page continuing his very good North American title run, had hard brawl with Wagner. Unfortunately, Zaruka may longer be fine with Soul losing her title without even being involved. He says, love seeing the Hardys, including the return of the Woken Matt Hardy theme. Jeff's Fiend tribute face was a nice touch with them doing the pose Matt and Bray used to do. As for the match, Jeff did his best to make it exciting. Not too shocked the belts went back to DarkState, as it seems a hot shot to up the stakes for the Bound for Glory match. Maybe Slater and Evans will go for them next, as they teased. Was this the swan song for Trick? It felt like it with the clean finish. Super pumped for MSG with the Gold Rush, and it's a double taping with all the promotions, and interested to see who will qualify for the Iron Survivor. And as always, Booker T was on 1 or 3. Vic's Riddler look was solid, and Mike Rome looked appropriately ridiculous as Art the Clown. Happy Halloween, my frogs. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate it.
We go to Magan, who says, a birthday pay-per-view worth watching. Good to great wrestling across the board. Ethan Page has been doing great work with the North American title. He and Wagner Jr. was dope. Hardy's DarkState was a multiple car crash. Jacy v. Tatum was a roller coaster of emotions, especially during the tail end when Izzy grabbed the belt. I yelled at the screen when the bell rang. A birthday wish come true. It's pretty remarkable how far those two have come since the 2.0 phase. Saints vs. Trick was a solid main event to firmly cement Ricky as the focal point of NXT. Slater Evans versus Iguana Parka was lighthearted fun. I wasn't too keen that the wheel was absent this year. Yeah, me neither. Gold Rush returning with multiple rosters, TNA, Evolve, and AAA, getting in on it to makes the possibilities endless. I do wonder how this will extrapolate into TNA and Evolve programming. FWIW. What's that mean?
Fuck with it. What? I don't know.
FWIW. Laredo Kid's going to be on Evolve to work a 3-way against Marcus Mathers and Tate Wilder on Wednesday. Cool.
Nice. I'm assuming it's your birthday, Megan, so happy birthday. Enjoy that. But yes, thank you for writing in, Megan, Fire Frank, and everyone out there listening here with our...
There was one more piece.
From Cameron. I'm sorry.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Very mixed show. I love the way NXT is treating the main women's title picture. Talent who have busted their ass for years, finally given the chance to sink or swim. Jacy succeeded. Can Tatum, who I think is massively underrated. Ethan Page has been fantastic this year, and both made a hardcore match interesting, which WWE usually struggle with. Still hate DarkState. Hot potato it to Evans and Slater, please. Thank you for your review, guys. Thank you, Cameron.
Thank you, Cameron. Appreciate that. Yeah, I completely agree. Let's just get the titles to Javon and Leon, and then do Javon and Leon versus the Hardys. So, yeah, there you go. Appreciate everyone out there listening, as always, here at Post Wrestling. You want to hear more of us, Poisonrana.ca, or like we said, search Poisonrana in whatever app you use. We're probably on it. And we have a Patreon. We will be reviewing Psycho from Hitchcock. We've just reviewed Halloween Havoc, WCW 2000. We've also looked at The Black Phone, and we will be looking at Halloween Resurrection, as well as so many other shows. We do a show called The Champ Is Here, where we've been going through John Cena's title wins, and we've had multiple different guests on. So we've done 12 episodes of that, featuring so many different friends on there, as well as movie reviews, wrestling, so much more. Check out patreon.com/Poisonrana. And I got to shout out Chop Tees, our friend Dickie Bird. Those damn tariffs have shut him down. Well, Chop Tees is going away, so I don't know if there's still time. But while you're listening, check out chop-tees.com/Poisonrana. It might be the last time to ever purchase a Poisonrana official merchandise. For the time being, I have a feeling we'll bounce back with some ways to support the pod and other means. But appreciate Dickie Bird, our friend Dick, with Chop Tees over the last, what seems like a year, 2 years of helping us reach people all over the world with merch. And I know people have been sending us photos for years now with the hats, the hoodies, the t-shirts, even the jackets as well. And it means the world to us. So if you ever have taken time to buy Poisonrana merch, please send in photos. We always appreciate that. But appreciate Dickie and all the fine work he's done with chop-tees.com. So we're pouring one out for chop-tees. Blame those tariffs, but in one way, shape, or form, we will be continuing with merch down the line. But we'll make you wait for it a little bit. But buy now if you can. I'm not quite sure, but hopefully you still can. And we won't be back Tuesday because of the game, and you'll be kind of traveling for some work as well. So look for us Wednesday, pending time of like 3 or 3:30 or something along those lines on Wednesday for Up Next this week. So no Up Next live on Tuesday night. Catch us Wednesday around 3-ish. For a live edition of that. So all the fallout from Halloween Havoc this Wednesday on Post Wrestling. But
yes,
follow the socials as always. But thank you, everybody out there. We will chat very soon. If we don't talk to you, have a happy Halloween. But that is it. That is all. Take care. Goodbye and be safe.
Ahoy!